What I want to talk to you guys about is why do I believe Freemasonry is an evil organization? Now, the reason why I believe Freemasonry is an evil organization is, for one, they are the rulers of this planet, okay? Um and how does that come into place? Because have you ever realized that this world is kind of what they refer to as a bit of a ripoff? Like how whenever things are going well, kind of something always comes up that just messes up everything. Well, that's Freemasonry for you. Whether you believe it or not, Freemasons do control the world. They are the world's most powerful organization, even says on their websites, or at least it used to when I used to go on their websites. So honestly, when you look at the corruption of this world, when we live in a world where people are always having to have revolutions, people are having their money stolen, people are not being paid enough money. How do you not tell me that they are not responsible for that? Okay, because look at the most powerful country of the world, and the United States of America. The United States of America, which everyone knows is, and everybody hates on them because of how powerful their army is. Look at them. Most of their presidents, especially even Bill Clinton, in the height of of America's power, um, and Ronald Reagan too, they were both Masons, or they were involved with Masons. So you cannot tell me that they are not somewhat responsible for why the world is a ripoff as it is. And what I mean by ripoff is well, I've already said before, is that you just don't get exactly what you expect you're gonna get. To be honest with you, the second reason why I believe Freemasonry is an even organization is for the simple fact that just in general, Masonry, to be honest with you, they have a saying in the world: power corrupts, okay? And absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I have to ask you a question. If we're having an organization of people as powerful as we know, and we already know how wicked human beings as a whole are, um there's like most people in this world, I'm sure if you have had business ventures, and even going back to kindergarten, like everybody wanted to be the ruler of the snow fort, okay? Everybody wanted to be the ruler, and you have to realize these are pretty much the same people, just grown up. They're humans too, or at least that's what most likely it seems. People used to argue all the time. Can you imagine running an entire planet and you're telling me that you're not going to let the power get a bit to your head? Um so just in general, I do believe it is true. It is true that they are evil, and besides, why do you have to do things in secret? Like, which I'll get to in a minute. But and just to end this point off is that I just want to simply say, if they're really as good as if they're really a good organization, why is it every single time you ask them questions, they freak the hell out? Or you ask people, because I hear that when they get asked if they're a Mason, they get super pissed about it. And I've encountered it. I've been in places, staying at hospitals, okay, for different issues, and I would just ask about it, and people would, every single time, usually after the conversation, people would come asking me questions about it. Just in general, it was just, just for being inquisitive about it. So you're telling me that these are good people who control the world, and they're talking about a free world, and you can't even ask some simple questions? Like, what's really going on here? Um, and to end it all off, I know people. This is the last point people make, is that people will say it's an invasion of privacy. Okay, and honestly, understanding Freemasonry, I don't think it is an invasion of privacy, because am I going to be one of those people like Alex Jones and go on a tirade saying, well, they're invading our privacy, they're invading our privacy. No, that's not my style. But in general, when you look at things, look at it from this perspective, okay? Do you know how many organizations there are in the world, okay, that have great power? Christianity, and just in general, if you actually look up what the conspiracy theorist movement is about, we don't spend most of our time talking about their rituals, because in general that's none of our business. That's none of anybody's business. If you want to practice rituals. But if you're in a position of power and you're practicing rituals that that in the past, you know, they said people would have their guts pulled out. People say that's a rumor, but in general, how do I know what to believe and what not if you're not willing to answer questions? Because if you're in a position of power and you're putting spells and you're practicing magic, what are you practicing? What do you have to hide? Is it supposed to make you more successful? Because I hope you know that's kind of messed up if you're, well, I wouldn't say it's messed up, but in general, if you were practicing all these spiritual rituals, and we have a species like human beings that have good and bad people, how do I know some people are not practicing evil rituals? And you're not even vague in description about it, okay? So honestly, in general, when it comes to personal rituals and what you do in your personal life, like I hear that they're quite eccentric. I don't care, okay? I really do not care. That's none of anybody's business. I don't want people knowing what I do in my personal life. I know I'm not gay just to get it twisted. I'm not into that sort of stuff. But in general, nobody wants to know what's going on in your personal life. But but when you're in a position of power and there's actual policies that you have implemented that is actually that it seems that are actually kind of not just nepotistic, which means that only family members can get it, and in general policies that people suspect that are causing issues, don't you think it will raise alarm bells? Don't you think it will scare people and people will ask questions and not have to be shouted out and completely shunned by the media? It's okay if we're shunned by the media because that's their decision, but at the same time, you guys are just being friggin' rude about it. And honestly, I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea of powerful people, who happen, gathering together and deciding our future. Like, it's an issue of national security, but wouldn't you at least have discussions and refute these claims? And the thing about these Freemasons is that they never ask any of the hardest questions about Masonry. Okay, any of the hardest questions. They'll just simply say, oh, I don't know about subliminal messages. I don't know about that sort of stuff. And they'll freak out. This is why I think that there's a conspiracy. I believe that they're up to something. They know a lot more than what they're saying. And that's just my personal belief. Hopefully this movement doesn't go violent. And I'm sure of this. And I'm sure that they are up to no good. And that's my personal perspective. For further information, I might make other videos. And that's my video. And that's hope, maybe you enjoyed it. Maybe you didn't. And that's all I have to say.